Have you ever done ayahuasca?
I have. Yeah, I've done it 6 times. So about a year ago, I went down to Peru and did ayahuasca.
And how does that compare to DMT? Like, what's the different experiences like? What does one give you versus the other?
Well, ayahuasca gives you diarrhea and vomiting. That's the one thing it gives you. I didn't. A lot of people have mystical, cool experiences on ayahuasca. I had one where I hung out with God. I've had DMT experiences where I hung out with God as well. But the first ayahuasca experience was super tough. It felt like there was this. It was saying we, but it made me really, really sick, and I was fighting it because I didn't want to throw up. I didn't want to have the whole purging aspect, and I felt like I was bullied for 6 hours and just incredibly sick. And I never wanted to do it again. I was like, I'm done. I'm walking away from this. I'm just done. So I waited until everybody else had done it, and I'm like, well, other people have good experiences because it was a treat, a week-long retreat. And I was like, if other people have good experiences, I will be brave enough to try it. And they had a psychologist there. And I talked to the psychologist because in the DMT trip, it said, you don't know what you're doing. You should delete your YouTube channel. You shouldn't be talking about any of this sort of stuff. You don't know what you're doing. And then, so then I went and talked to the psychologist, and I was like, it wants me to delete my YouTube channel. And it was really mean to me. And I felt sick. I felt horrible. I don't want to do this again. And he goes, that's common. He goes, just do it again a second time. I guarantee you it'll be better. And he goes, if it's not better, you can come and punch me in the face. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Yeah. And I did. And the second time I went, I hung out with God, and he was answering questions for me. Well, I shouldn't say that. The first 3 or 4 hours of this experience, I was just in awe. I was just staring at this thing and this presence. And, I was just dumbfounded. I'm like, of course there's a God. Of course there's an afterlife. Of course it's super loving. Because I was having doubts about that part as well because of the first experience. And for the first, 3 to 4 hours of the trip, I couldn't think of anything to say. And I was like, I can feel that this is going to wear off and I'm going to lose this connection. I said, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. I need this feeling. And it goes, I'm not, I'll never leave you. You just won't feel this connected, but I'm always there. I promise. And then I was like, oh, before the experience happened, I said, please, I don't want to throw, because I felt like I could ask questions in my head and it would answer me. So the first question I asked was, I don't want to throw up. Or the first thing I said was, I don't want to throw up. And he goes, well, you don't have to if you don't want to. And I'm like, okay. And then I felt myself felt myself starting to dry heave a little bit. I felt like I was getting sick. And I go, well, you said I didn't have to throw up. And it goes, you haven't thrown up, have you? And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to dry heave either. And it's like, okay. And so all of a sudden that feeling went away. And then I was like, wow, this is really cool. You're listening to me. And she was like, I'm always listening to you and I'm always responding to you. But people, one, they're not specific enough in what they're asking for. So I want to be rich or I want to be healthy. Okay. You might be healthy in your next life, or you might be healthy, in 10 years.